Well, actually, it was funny because I was in giving a clinic in California at Galway, and we were out one night, and we were actually discussing the American selection, because that was, you know, around this time last year, and Hawley Bennett was there, and she was sort of saying that, well, you know, we're not going to have David anymore, and he's applied for the American job and that sort of thing. And then, just jokingly, they sort of said, "Would you be interested?" And I suppose I said, "Well, why not? It might be interesting." So it started there, and then here we are. Got the job. Well, it wasn't really until we were getting closer and closer to, you know, a decision being made, obviously, that I was really pressed about competing. I've still got Walterstown Don, whose plan is to go to Lexington, Kentucky, for the Rolex this spring, yeah. And of course I'll still be competing some of the younger horses that I have, going to, you know, getting them experience and producing them. All those horses are for sale anyway. And yeah, I mean, my focus and my concentration will be on getting the Canadian team going. And yeah, it's sort of going to mean a wind down of the riding, but I think it's a new challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
But you won't be competing for Australia when you'll be coaching with me. That's not possible.
Well, up until Rolex of next year, certainly I'll still compete for Australia. I mean, I'm, you know, still an Australian, but once I've finished with Rolex and possibly, you know, Walterstown Don may be sold or whatever, then, you know, we'll go from there.
But you won't be to the Olympics. Like, you won't be on an Olympics team.
No, I can't do both. So, you know, I've given my pledge to the Canadians that I'm doing this full time, and it's a focus to give them everything. So that means I won't be riding.
How is that like to just pass on that?
Oh, look, you know, it's a little bit hard, and I mean, I'm a competitive guy, you know, and it has been hard. I mean, you know, actually finally making the decision. It's probably come earlier in my career than I've envisaged to start with, but yeah, you know, you've got to take your opportunities when they come, and this for me is a great opportunity to move into the next stage of my career and focus on the training, and that's what I've done.
How different to coach a team versus just an individual rider?
Well, I think there's lots of different dynamics. You know, once you're coaching a team, you know, obviously you're just dealing with a lot more people, administrators, you know, the chef de keeps, and the other people that are important to make the team happen. Although I sort of had a little bit of that role when I took Alex Watien to the Olympic Games, but you know, that was a separate situation. I think it's going to be a challenge. It's my first time doing a top level team. I have done the Hong Kong team at the Asian Games before, so I'm used to doing it. Not at this level, but I think it'll be fine. I'm ready for it. Yeah, look, I mean, basically, I think that the good foundations have been laid. I think David helped that, but we've also got a good committee, high performance committee that's working, and I think they're really trying to get the team up and running. I think they had a lot of bad luck at the last Olympics. I think the potential's really there, and I see myself bringing hopefully a lot of experience and a lot of skill to get better performances out of the riders that have already been on the team, but also to help raise the standard of the riders that are aiming for the team. Yeah, of course. I think all my horses that have gone to 4-star level have been produced from young horses. So I think it's fair to say that I've got a pretty good eye for a good young horse. That's another area that we want to look at. Make sure that we get to see those young horses that are coming through, and be able to spot a real star. I think I've got the skills to do that, and I want to try in my training help the riders understand how that process works, and give them the skills to be able to apply those same theories.
And how much are you going to work with the top level riders that are there right now versus maybe the ones coming up? Like what?
Well, predominantly to start with, it's really just about me familiarising myself with everyone and even the systems that are there. So to start with, we'll be really focusing on the guys that have got good enough performance to be described as elite. That may not be huge numbers at the moment, but that's where the focus is going to start, and then from there we'll start looking further afield to improve that standard and improve the numbers of elite riders and horse combinations. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a 4-year deal. You know, we're basically going to the next Olympic Games. Along the ways, we've got Pan Ams and World Championships. So the focus is on improving the performance. But I mean, before we get too carried away with that, you know, we really have to take stock of where we are. And I really need to, you know, speak with all the riders and start to get a feel for what they've liked about the programs, what they haven't liked about the programs, and, you know, try to do something that makes people happy, gives them very clear goals, and yeah, I think if people really understand what they need to improve and where the areas are that they need to improve, and they've got very specific and clear goals, and they've got the backup and the support from me to help them achieve that, I can't see that we can't go forward. Yeah, absolutely. I think what we have is a situation with me coming in, especially not being based in this area. I mean, the only times I've been over here is for Rolex in the past, and I've never been a rider that's looked around at what everyone else is doing. I've always just tried to focus purely on what I'm up to. So because of that, I need a little bit of time to really sort of make a decision on all that. But in saying that, I think that brings a freshness, and I think it brings a situation where I'm completely unaffected and unbiased by anything that may have gone on in the past. So, you know, really I'm not trying to take any impression at all. I'm just trying to see things for what they are, and all that's going to mean looking ahead to the future.
And how much coaching are you going to do?
A lot. Yeah, I mean, we've got already started to fill my diary, so yeah, there's going to be lots of coaching, lots of sessions to try and work with horses and work with riders. So I'm going to be a busy boy.
Are you going to do like symposiums all around the country, or how's that?
Well, again, you know, look, it's only a few days ago that it was really announced, so, you know, we're still working on that. I mean, I don't know exactly where my time and everything's going to be. All I know is it's going to be very busy.
Do you think the Canadians can get to a certain level just by competing in North America, or do you think that trips to early and overseas are important?
I think riders some of the riders have already made those decisions for themselves, and I think I think what I bring is a lot of skill to improve the ones that decide that they, you know, stay based here. I think it's important that you get as much, you know, as riders, they get as much international competition as they can. But I think we've got some ideas for ways in which we can improve their performances without having to ship all around the world. And, you know, we've also got to consider that, you know, we are dealing with a small number of horses, so we need the best performance out of those without flogging them to every event. You know, it's always got to be a good balance.
So you're really going to be hands-on with each of the riders then?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what I want to do is have very, very clear and open communications with everyone, and the first thing that I will be doing is saying to those guys, you know, I want to know about your horses, I want to know about the young horses that you've got coming up, I want to know about the horses that you've got at the moment, what your goals are, where you're heading, what you're doing, and start from there and see where we go.
To get to a certain level, you need that strength. Are you going to make sure that they do get... Are you going to tell them try and get not just one, but 3 or 4 or 5 horses ready?
Yeah, you know, it's a numbers game at the end of the day. You really do need good numbers of horses at the top level, not just because of you know, we've got soundness issues that can hamper your performances and hamper your career. You need experience as well, and the more horses that you can get and ride at that top level, the more experience you can get. I think the riders actually that are wanting to be serious about being on the team, I think they understand that, and I think they've already started that process of making the steps towards, you know, having good horses coming in behind, and yeah. That means you've got to have the young horses coming through on a constant stream. But it takes a lot of funds and it takes a lot of support. So they're limited a little bit by the support they're getting from outside other sources. You know, not just funding from Equine Canada, but you know or the government. But they need, you know, we need private investors, we need private people to get behind the riders and help them to produce better performances for Canada.
So is your job going to be a lot of PR as well, public relations, trying to get on this?
I don't think that's really in the job description completely, but I mean it goes without saying that if that's something that we need to do to, you know, to encourage people to get involved, then sure, I mean, you know, I would be definitely doing that.
But it's not. Clayton, find us someone.
Look, you know, if that was as easy as giving me the job to do it, you know, yeah, you know, that'd be great. But it's not going to be that easy. It needs everyone to be focused on, you know, getting more horses from the bottom up, and having owners that are, you know, prepared to go through all the ups and downs that this sport gives you to produce top level Olympic performance.